I have a question for you. Have you ever been in a workplace environment where you feel like you have to gossip in order to fit in? Sometimes we're just surrounded by negative people whose default form of conversation is tearing other people down. And I will admit, I have succumbed to that temptation. So this week, I want to focus on the topic of gossip. Why gossip is so harmful to a healthy company culture. And let's just let this be a reminder to all of us, me included, that there is no room for gossip in a healthy company culture. Whenever you engage in a negative conversation about somebody else, you're doing two things. You're hurting them and you're also hurting yourself. First, let's talk about how you're hurting them. You're hurting their image. It's likely that you're talking about that person to somebody else who also has to interact with them. So whenever you are engaging in negative conversation about a person, you're tarnishing their image to the other people. You are making it more difficult for them to gain respect in the eyes of your coworkers. People who are the subject of negative gossip will find that they are constantly fighting an uphill battle trying to regain the respect of the people around them. And if you are a jerk like me who has thought to yourself, well, they deserve it, they're so rude, let me just remind you of something that I need to be reminded of frequently. That person is just as valuable in this world as you are. They deserve to at least be present to defend themselves while you're dragging their name through the mud. Not only are you hurting that other person's image, you're probably also going to be hurting their feelings. From my experience, gossip has a way of getting back to the person who's being gossiped about, whether that's through a conversation that is unexpectedly overheard, or if there is a double agent in your office who happens to share that information to the subject of the gossip. It's going to be found out one way or another. Whenever that happens, people's feelings get hurt. I know that I have been hurt before by finding out that people have been talking negatively about me, and that is not a good feeling. I'm sure you can relate. If you felt the pain of being betrayed by people you thought you could trust, you know that that doesn't go away immediately, and it takes a long time to regain trust in the people that you work with. Every time you talk negatively about somebody else, you're not only hurting their image, you're not only creating a likelihood of hurting their feelings, you're also hurting your own image. Every time you talk negatively about somebody, you're painting a picture of yourself in the eyes of the people around you. Let me tell you a story. There was a time in my life when I had made a habit of gossiping about everybody around me, all of my friends. I could always find something negative to think about them, and I was sure to share that with all of the other friends in my circle. It was just a habit in my life that I'm really not proud of. One day I was gossiping about one of my best friends to another mutual friend. I was on a tear, complaining about something stupid, and my friend said to me, "How do I know that I can trust you? How do I know that you are not saying these exact same things about me behind my back?" And that stung. It was an honest moment in my young adulthood that really made me think about who I was becoming, what habits I was allowing into my life, and what image I was painting of myself for my friends. What did that say about me if I couldn't even be trusted to be a friend and to not complain about somebody behind their back? Whenever we're gossiping, not only are we making ourselves look untrustworthy, we're painting a picture that we are a negative person. Beyond the fact that it makes us less fun to be around, it also makes it harder for people to respect us. It's hard to have a good time around negative people, especially when you're just wondering what flaw of yours they're going to be remembering and pointing out to others later. If we're striving for happy, healthy, comfortable, fun company cultures, we have to make sure that there is no room for gossip in our conversation. There are actually companies out there that include no gossip in their core values. I had the opportunity to speak to the director of culture of one of these companies. When I was talking to him, I said, "That's a fantastic core value, and I think it's really valuable, but how do you maintain that? How do you make sure that you're upholding that core value? And he said, if we catch somebody gossiping, we give them a warning. We tell them that they're violating one of our core values, and if they do it again, they're going to be fired. And then if they do it again, they're fired. Which at first, I thought that was really harsh. But when I thought about it more, if a company cares so much about their employees that they want to make sure that no one is gossiping, then how else are they going to uphold that core value? That's so important. It shows that they really care about the well-being and about the relationships and the time that their employees spend at the workplace. These companies take a firm stance on something that they disagree with, and they make sure that their employees know that there will be no bargaining in this situation. Company culture is important enough to stand up for, and one of the best ways to make sure that we have healthy company cultures is to make sure that there is no room for gossip in our conversations with our coworkers. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I post new stuff every Thursday. You can also check out my website. It's www.beagoalgetter.net. And if you want to follow me on social media, I have a Facebook and an Instagram account. I will include the links in the video description below. Thanks for watching.